it's me. Today we're gonna be looking at things that feel illegal even though they aren't. Calling in sick when you're actually sick. Yes, I feel that one. Every time I'm sick and I call in and I say, look, I don't think I can make it because I don't feel that great. Deep inside, I feel like they're not believing in that. They think I'm making this up because I don't want to come to work. Maybe they're gonna think I'm hungover, or maybe they're gonna think that, I don't know. Especially now after COVID, people are constantly like, I don't know, dude, it might be COVID, I don't feel that great, so just in case, I'm gonna take some days off and I'm gonna get tested. And then you just feel like whenever you're really sick and you have to call in because you're sick, you feel like you're doing something illegal, like you're lying or something, because everybody has overdone that. Everything when a cop car is behind you. Yes, that is me. Every time I'm driving and I see like a cop behind me, I start freaking out. I'm like, am I gonna get pulled over? Did I do anything wrong? Am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? Did I put the signal when I was turning right? And then I start like freaking out. And then the worst is that I get like so paranoid and I have anxiety. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna like turn right and see if he's still behind me. And then if I turn right and the cop is right behind me still, I'm like, oh my God. Okay, now let me go left. Let me see if he's following me. And then you're like freaking out, even though I'm not even doing anything wrong. I always get this anxiety. It's like I'm traumatized. Even though I've never done anything illegal, I never even got a ticket, I still freak out every single time. Walking into a grocery store and casually strolling past the security guard after not buying anything. Yes, every time I go to a store and I don't buy anything, I feel like, oh man, this is wrong. Maybe I should just buy something, because what are they gonna think? Why did I come here for if I walked in, walked around, and I walked out with nothing? I always feel like, for real, that they're gonna be like, do they think I'm stealing? Do they think I came here because I have nothing better to do? Sometimes we can just not find what we came for, and it's okay. We don't have to feel like guilty. We're not like forced to buy things if we don't find them. Still, I feel like I'm doing something illegal. Stepping on my pet's foot by mistake. Oh, I feel so guilty too, especially because they look at you and they're like crying. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And you try to explain to them and you want to like get them to pet them, and they're like, they're running away and they cannot even understand what's going on. Even though you say, I'm sorry 100 times. They don't really understand you're sorry. They think you did that on purpose. They're a mean person. I hate that. That feels very illegal to me. Asking someone to return your money. Yes, I hate that. Every time you lend money to someone and then like the person just forgets that they owe you money, and then you have to like casually remind them, they look at you like you're doing something illegal. Like, what do you mean? You're asking me for your money. That is terrible. That's why I don't like when people ask you for things, because then they always forget, and then you have to ask for the money back, and then you feel guilty for reminding them to pay you what they owe you. And it's terrible. You feel like you're the bad person here, and they feel like you're the bad person too. Even though you're not doing anything wrong, it feels pretty illegal to me. Having your meal returned because they didn't bring what you ordered. Yes, you're very specific about it, and like you're very nice and you ask them like before, and then when it comes and they messed it up, you feel like guilty for reminding them that that's not what you wanted. And the worst of all is that, I don't know about y'all, but me, I always worry like, I shouldn't say anything. They're gonna spit in my food, they're gonna do something, they're gonna put some hairs on my food. I always worry, so I ended up just eating whatever they brought me and saying, it's okay, it's not a big deal. I would just take my chances. I just rather eat this than having my food taken back. That's a no-no. Everybody knows that. Automatically and unintentionally looking at someone's cell phone when it lights up when they get a message. Oh, I hate that one, and that happens to me quite often. You're just talking to someone and then boom, boom, it's I can't even explain. It just like reflex. You just look, and then the person looks at you, and it's that awkward moment like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to look at your phone, but you already did. So you feel guilty, even though you didn't mean to look at it, but then you just look like the person that wants to know what's going on. Especially if it's a boyfriend of yours, that's it. He will never believe that he did that, and you didn't mean to, even though it might be an accident. Asking a salesperson about the item, then end up not buying it. Oh, yes. Sometimes I go to the store and then I asked to try like a bunch of different things. And sometimes I don't like them or they don't really fit. But I feel so guilty that I've done that in the past. I want to tell you guys a little secret. I've actually bought things that I didn't like knowing I will return them just because I felt like guilty for not buying anything and having wasted the guy's time. And then it's even worse because I buy and then I have to go to another store because I'm not gonna go back to the one that I just purchased because he's gonna know that not only I didn't like, but then I'm returning. And then I have to find another store to return so they don't know what I'm doing. Ah, yes, I've done that. I've done that. That's how guilty I felt at the moment. Passing a cop driving really slow in front of you. Yes, a lot of times I'm driving, and I'm not a fast driver, you know, I'm okay, an average person. But sometimes you're so slow, and I'm like, okay, should I just pass him? But then I don't know if he's gonna pull me over for that. So I stay behind for a little bit, and then I said, you know what, I'm just gonna take my chances. So I go like, I pass and I look at him. Yo, you have to do that. You always like, what up? With your head. And then you just pass him and like looking to see if something is gonna happen and lights are gonna come up. Like, okay, nothing happened, okay. You feel like you're doing something completely illegal. Going through airport security, yes, every single time. I'm like, do I have anything? And, you know, any metal things, any lighter, anything? It's terrible. And then you just go, like, anxiety kicks in. And you're like, I don't have anything. Why would I? In one time, there's like wiping my hands. I'm like, what is this? What do I have in my hands? I was freaking out. And then every time I go through the little metal thing, always beeps. And I'm like, what is this? Just a necklace? It's just a belt? It's terrible. And you feel like a bad guy. You're doing something illegal and people staring at you. Very embarrassing. The bathroom and walking out without buying anything. Another thing that feels very illegal. Every time you go to the bathroom, you feel like you have to buy something. Or otherwise, they're gonna be like, hey, you cannot use the bathroom. But I need to pee. No, you must buy something. I've bought several items, like a bottle of water or a coffee. I can always use a coffee just so I can like use the bathroom without feeling guilty. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure a lot of people have done that. You spend like $5 just to pee because that's how guilty they make you feel. Not finishing your food. Well, this one I used to feel guilty before, especially when I lived in Brazil. They make you feel so guilty. But now I feel like, you know what? I'm just not hungry anymore. I'm not gonna overeat. So like then I'm gonna feel sick. So what I do now, usually like I ask to take home, which depending on the place you are, you also feel guilty. Like you feel, man, can I do that here? Is this place too fancy? But who doesn't like leftovers anyway? So yeah, I don't feel bad for that anymore. However, I do feel bad for taking the food that is left over home. Yes, this one too. Free food samples. You mean I can eat several of these tiny cups of food you're selling and then walk away and not buy any of it? I feel very guilty. Every time I try the free sample, I have to buy because I feel like I'm taking advantage of them. Even like maybe if I really dislike a one, but usually I feel very guilty. I feel like if they're giving me something now I have to buy because otherwise they wouldn't have given to me. So yeah, I feel very guilty about that one too. Alrighty, that was it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked, press the button like. Bye!